My friends, it is clear as mud that Kotaku does not understand Marvel Rivals, nor do they understand the comics, nor do they understand what sells. Hello, folks. My name is LP. I am the writer and creator of published comic books such as Nyobi and Savage Sin, soon to be a 10-page backup story in Ninja High School 200. Check those out. And I'm here to talk about one of my favorite games, and actually one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. This is being Marvel Rivals and Emma Frost. And Kotaku seems to have a problem with Emma Frost, with Invisible Girl, with Cloak and Dagger, with blondes in general, apparently. They go on to say, Marvel Rivals fans are having trouble telling all the blondes apart. No, we really don't, because we know and love these characters. We've known and loved these characters for years. And the new kids coming into the game, they're discovering them for the first time, and they understand the differences between all three. It's not hard to tell. It's not like they're identical here. Let's go on and read what they say. Yesterday, Marvel Rivals unveiled 2 new heroes coming to the shooter in Season 2. By the way, you can see that up above there on one of the links above my head, where we talk about the debut of Emma Frost and Ultron, the telepathic mutant Emma Frost, and AI Ultron. We haven't seen much of Ultron yet, as he'll be added later in the season. Emma Frost, however, will join the roster when Season 2 begins in about 7 days from now. Fans are excited to have another woman in the Vanguard pool, Vanguard being tanks, given that the role has been heavily male-dominated thus far. However, the community is also having conversations. The community, quote-unquote, is having, quote-unquote, conversations about how the mutants' inclusion shows a weakness in the diversity of Marvel's characters' designs and the heroes from which the developers' NetEase is pulling. All right, let me stop you right there. It has nothing to do with not being diverse. It has nothing to do with any sort of white nationalism or whatever it is that you might be going on about. It has everything to do with the X-Men coming to the MCU. Okay? It has everything to do with Emma Frost, #1, being launched in a month or two. Okay? You see, one of the biggest problems in comics and in the movies and the toys and in the video games and so on and so forth is that they've never been able to tie them together. Use the game to promote the comic, use the comic to promote the movie, use the movie to promote the toys, right? They've never ever really been able to figure that out. This is the first time in a long time that at least Marvel Rivals, the video game, has caught on to something. They actually advertised the first appearances of these characters in the video game, pointing fans to where to find these things. They give you lots of lore that comes straight from the comics themselves. It's great cross-brand marketing. So it has nothing to do with a fascination or a fetish for blondes. It has everything to do with the X-Men coming right around the corner in the MCU. It's business. Learn it. You know what I mean? Emma Frost marks the third instance of Marvel Rivals putting a blonde, white woman in a blue and white suit and sending her off into the battlefield. Invisible Woman and Dagger are the other two. And before Elma joined the game, there were plenty of jokes about not being able to tell apart the characters at a distance. Well, let me stop you there. The reason why Susan Storm was also dropped into the game, and the reason why she wears white and blue, well, A, that's the colors of the Fantastic Four, thank you very much. But B, and it's just like I said about the X-Men coming to the MCU, Fantastic Four First Steps trailer just dropped not that long ago. Kind of funny how that happened with a sort of like a new relaunch of the FF, Susan Storm, Reed Richards in the game, and then the Thing and the Human Torch soon were to follow. You think this is all done by accident or done by sexists and racists? No, it's done by people who know how to market these things. All right? Now, a new challenger for the blonde white lady crown has entered the chat. I love the language here. And the problem is only going to get worse. What problem? There is no problem. Emma does not have some notable differences in her design that makes her more distinguishable in a scrap, such as her exposed thighs and fuck-ass Bob. Do you really write fuck-ass Bob in a professional, what should be a professional article on a long-standing gaming website, right? Like since when have we put profanity into our news articles and think that's acceptable? You know, that's kind of wild to me. But fans are still annoyed that NetEase and Marvel are relying on heroes that look so similar in the heat of the moment that when the comics have plenty of diverse characters to choose from. Yeah, and if you haven't looked at the video game, there are diverse characters to choose from. You got Storm, front and center. You got Penny Parker, front and center. You have Psylocke, Asian, front and center, right? You have Black Panther, front and center. I can go down the list. And you're going to see more characters come into play. They're not all going to be white blonde women. That just happens to be how the movies are coming out. Really, think about what it is that you're writing before you write it. And so here we got some hot takes, if you will. This one's from Enchanted. No hate, I'm hating. But damn, they really made 3 characters look the same. No, they don't look the same. And in fact, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that they're not telling you. Here's the other thing they are purposely omitting. All these characters will have different skins, right? Different color costumes, different outfits to choose from. They're not all going to look the same. And in fact, some of the base costumes coming up in season 2, you're actually going to be able to change the color scheme of. So what this is Karen's barking to the clouds. That's all this is. Let's go down and read some more. We're only 2 blondes away from a full blonde girl team comp. Yeah, I forgot about Magic. There you go. How come you're not bitching about Magic? Why? Because you guys like Magic, don't you? Yeah, you do. And I get it. I love Magic too. She's my favorite character in the whole Marvel cinematic universe, and not even the cinematic universe, like just the whole Marvel universe. Marvel Rivals in 2 years ago when the 50th blonde white woman is added to the game. Well, you know what? Don't be surprised when more blonde women are added to the game. I mean, I can think of maybe a couple that are probably right around the corner anyway. How about Spider-Gwen? She's a blonde woman. Are you going to bitch about that? You know? There's a Emma Frost leak there, I guess. Just a picture of her. Nothing too fancy. If I had a nickel for every time Marvel Rivals released a white blonde woman with a blue and white color scheme, I would have 3 nickels. That's right. You'd be 15 cents richer. Which isn't a lot of nickels, but it's weird that it's happened thrice. No, it's not. I told you the reasons why. Fantastic Four movie, X-Men coming to the MCU. Plus, sex sells. Let's just throw it out there, right? Blonde white woman, power creep. Yeah, stretch. There was no reason to play Overwatch except for an actually diverse cast of characters. This is like the 5th skinny white woman they added to the game. Well, I'll tell you. When I go watch Avengers, I'm not looking for an overweight Karen to play Black Widow, right? I'm looking for the hot, sexy Scarlett Johansson to play Black Widow. Just much as the same, you don't want some out-of-shape slob playing Aquaman or Thor. You know, you want Chris Hemsworth, right? You want that buff body, don't you, ladies? Yeah, you do. But I don't see you bitching about that. You know, I've been fighting this fight for, 11, 12 years now. People just can't handle the female form. Don't cry, little rival players. Uncle Netis has got enough blonde white women to feed you for an entire life. So what happens if the next character comes out is, say, Monica Rambeau? Do you then recant and retake and backpedal all of this? Fuck. What happens when they release Captain Marvel? You gonna bitch about another blonde woman in the game? It's just ridiculous, man. If there were more distance between Emma, Invisible Woman, and Dagger being added to the roster, fans might be less concerned. But they're not concerned. Fans are loving and enjoying the game. I am loving and enjoying the game. I am stoked for Emma Frost coming to the game. We will be playing that night 1. But the game, go back to the article, but the game has been out for 4 months. And there's been a bizarrely similar looking blonde white woman in a blue and white suit added each season thus far. Again, go back to the MCU coming out with Fantastic Four and the X-Men. There have already been some teases of more characters to fall into this archetype joining the game, like the Dazzler. Yeah, I can't wait for Dazzler. Bring her on. And Captain Marvel is also rumored one of the hero leaks. Like I said, are you going to bitch about that? But at least but they go on to say, but she at the very least might be wearing blue and red. What they're trying to say is she might be covered up. But here's what they're going to do, and here's what you're going to bitch about. They're going to bring Captain Marvel, and guess what they're going to do with her? Yeah, you'll have her in her standard Avengers outfit that she's been wearing right now. I'm sure you'll get that. But you know what else we'll get? We'll get that sleek, sexy black Captain Marvel outfit from back in the day that everyone really loves. And then we're going to watch you all bitch. You know what I mean? We'll see if Emma Frost can stand out as the other two women when she comes close to the game on April 11th. Look, man, you got barking at clouds. It's Karen's bitching at nothing. They just want to bark because they like the sound of their own voice. Fantastic Four movie, X-Men movie. That's why you got those two. And Cloak and Dagger were in the game from the very beginning. So, and again, I get it. Yeah, they're all wearing blue and white. I get that point. But what you didn't add, and again, I will repeat like a broken record, is they have different outfits, and soon you're going to be able to change the color of these outfits. None of them are going to look the same. So get a grip. Grab a controller and play the game, and stay tuned from a word from our sponsor. I wonder who that will be. And just who is today's sponsor? Well, it's me, Austin. It's been me all along. And I'm just here to let you know that Nyobi Outbreak number 4 is on its last week on Kickstarter here. We've been running this in late pledges, aka in demand now for the last couple of weeks, and we're glad that we've had 8 new backers come in and join us on the fun. And it's not too late. You can come in and back this for another week or so, and then it is going to get shut down because we just can't leave it open forever, right? We need to get the ball rolling. We need to get the ball moving. So come on in and help us out. There are 10 great covers to choose from, including Juan Antonio Altaveras right here. How about Elsie Fritas featuring Adana? What about this great cover from Locke Wynn right here? How about the cover from the Sensei, Ben Dunn, founder of Antarctic Press and the creator of Warrior Nun and Ninja High School, with our X-Men homage? Bucket list artist Ali Garza right here. How about the Master, Keith Garvey? How about Narcilio Souza with the Dance Till You Drop set right here? Great triple set cover that you can pick up for another week or so, only right here on Kickstarter. And to top it all off, this epic cover by Image alumni, known for his work on Evangeline and Lady Pendragon, Scarlet Crush, and so much more, Mr. John Stinsman. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go here. We got the pages done. We're working on the coloring of the last few. We're going to be 2 months early, not 4 years late. So why don't you jump in now, catch up on all things Nyobi. We have everything you need. If you missed out on the past, if you're missing a variant cover, that sort of stuff, come in, take a look. Things are starting to sell out, including some of the signature series, including some of the original sketch cards that we have on the go. You do want these. They're gorgeous. They're awesome. And again, only available for another week or so. So pull the trigger, pull it now, and we'll see you soon.